I'm at Eurobike and I found a brand new suspension stem from UK company Ultimate, and coming out very soon. Let's speak to Mark and find out some more details about a brand new stem.
So this is Ultimate's brand new Vibe suspension stem. So this is 34 years in the making, as we've been making suspension seat posts for 34 years.
Okay.
But basically with this, you've got a tunable, extremely personable suspension stem. We've got 3 different elastomers where you can fit in the bottom and 1 that you fit in the top, of different personable attitudes. And the great thing about this is you've got 2 different places where you can preload the elastomers to give you a different flex, which means you can have up to 30 mil of active suspension, but you can make that completely personal to yourself. So if you're somebody who wants to get rid of just chatter, you can tune it to be able to get rid of that. Or if you're somebody who wants to get rid of the big bumps, you can tune it to get rid of the bigger bumps. So it's 100% personable to the rider themselves.
And it looks really quite sleek, well, isn't it? Something quite chunky and bulky. This one looks fairly...
We spend a lot of time trying to make a stem look like a stem.
Okay.
And it's one of the feedbacks we've been having from all of our testers is the fact that it's really great to see a suspension seat post looking like what it is, a stem.
So when you say it's adjustable, you can change the elastomers inside? You
can change the elastomers inside. It comes with 3 that you can change in the base. Basically, you just remove the 2 sides of the bearings here and here, and then you can slide your elastomers into it and change those to how you most feel. And it comes with different hardnesses of elastomers to make sure it's actually completely and utterly personable.
And the preload bolts on the top and bottom, they do the same job, they're just accessible from the top and bottom, or they do different jobs?
They do a slightly different job in the fact that they just preload the elastomers at the top or at the bottom. So they're doing very similar jobs, but the good thing about that is you can actually adjust your angle of the stem. So if you want something that's slightly more raised, you can actually preload it in a different way to make sure you can adjust that angle.
Okay. Nice. And different lengths and
different lengths at the moment. We're coming with 70 and 90 mil lengths, just to get to trial the market out. But yeah, in the future there will be more lengths.
So why is it taking 34 years? Get here.
That's a really good question that I can't answer. So you're going to have to edit that bit out.
Hopefully it's worth the wait then. So available soon now?
They'll be available in the next 6 to 8 weeks. We literally just finalised testing. All the elastomers are on order, all coming into the factory to be produced. So it's just days away.
And price TBC or?
Price TBC, we're looking at the £180 mark, or €200 or $200.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
I'm Hannah and I'm product manager for road bike tires at Continental.
And we have a brand new tyre here. Can you tell me where this started, where the project started?
So the goal of the tire was to develop the most aerodynamic tire to date. And it was a joint development together with DT, Swisside and Conti.
So how do you make a tire more aerodynamic then?
So the most obvious change to the tire is of course the tread pattern.
Yep.
So we have 48 so-called vortex generators that are incorporated in the tread. So they are basically cavities, and they change the airflow when it hits the tire, or the turbulence caused by the airflow when it hits the tire, in a way that it stays attached to the rim for a longer time, therefore increasing the sailing effect and reducing the aerodynamic drag of the tire.
So it's controlling the airflow as it hits the tire and what it does when it hits the tire and comes off the tire.
So we are causing kind of controlled turbulence. So usually when the airflow hits the rim, turbulence caused by it detaches pretty fast from the rim and it increases aerodynamic drag. And with these vortex generators, we manage to control the airflow in a way that this turbulence is controlled in a way that stays attached to the rim.
And what sort of difference does it make compared to a regular GP5000? What sort of difference are we talking? How many watts?
How many watts? Yeah. It's always the question.
How
many watts? How fast? It depends on the rider.
Okay.
So we did a lot of wind tunnel testing, like I said, and what we see is that at 45 kilometers an hour, you're able to save up to 15 watts if the wind hits you at about 15 degrees yaw angle.
50?
15.
15, okay.
1.5,
okay.
Yes.
What happens at slow speed, like my speed, like half that?
What is your speed?
About 20 kilometers? 25.
25. Okay, let's make it 30. So
okay, that's quite fast.
Yeah. So at 30 kilometers an hour, you would still be able to save around 3 watts
Okay.
at 15-degree yaw angle. So it
Okay.
really depends on the wind. If you're just riding in a straight headwind, what we see is that all tires pretty much behave the same. So you have kind of a base drag is what it's called. But as the wind comes at you at an angle, this is where the sailing effect really starts to come into play. So kind of like the sail of a sailing boat.
Okay. Does the depth of the rim and the profile and shape of the rim make any difference to that effect? Have you designed the tire
yes.
with the rim, I guess?
Yes, definitely. So in general, the higher the rim, the greater is the sailing effect.
Okay.
But with the Aero 111, and that's also an interesting thing, if you combine the Aero 111 with a more shallow rim, so talking about 42 millimeters height or depth,
Yeah.
you have about the same sailing effect as with a regular tire and a 60 millimeter rim.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
how wide is the tire? Is it a narrow tire? Is it a wide tire?
We have 2 tire widths.
Okay.
One is 26 millimeter, the other one is 29 millimeters.
Very nice, okay. And it's just front tire, so no rear tire?
Yeah, because also what we saw in the wind tunnel, and if you like look at a bike and the way the wind comes at a bike, or the airflow comes at a bike, there is just no aerodynamic benefit on the rear wheel.
Okay.
Because you already have the rider and the bike that are causing like a lot of turbulence and aero drag, so the rear wheel tire is just neglectable in aerodynamic.
With the grooves on the tire, there's no compromise to grip or traction when you're cornering with the tire?
No, not at all. Not at all. So I've been actually riding the Aero 111 now for 2,500 kilometers, I'll say. I haven't crashed, I haven't had a flat, and I hope it stays that way. No, but you even though the cavities kind of look weird at the first glance, you don't feel them when you're riding.
Okay.
And also what we tested in the wind tunnel, if the tire is worn down, so you have 3 tread wear indicators, the aerodynamic features or the aerodynamic performance still stays the same.
Oh, so when it wears out and the grooves wear away, you still...
It still performs the same because the cavities are positioned that much outside that they don't really wear out.
Fantastic. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So what do we have here then?
Right, yeah, so this is the new SRAM S-Series component line. So this is considered a line extension from Eagle transmission. This is ultimately bringing Eagle technology to more riders than ever before. So in this component group, we've got the derailleur, the cassette, and also cranks for both e-mountain bikes and mountain bike. Cool things on the derailleur, consider our current GX transmission derailleur, very similar architecture. Really the only main difference on this one is that we've been able to simplify some of the componentry in there and make a new clutch mechanism that just brings us down to a price point that's even below GX, but bringing still the same performance benefits.
Is it much heavier?
It's pretty similar in weight. It's like within grams.
Okay,
yeah. And
the cassette.
yeah, and the cassette. So this piece is pretty special. So the most special thing about this, I think, is that again to bring this Eagle componentry to more riders than ever before, but also offer the same rider benefits in terms of range. That was a real goal here. So 520% range is what's expected of Eagle transmission, and to get that we need 10 tooths to 52 tooths. Now, the thing that's pretty cool and pretty special on this is that instead of working on our XD driver body, which is most riders will be familiar with for both road and mountain bike, this actually works on an HG driver body, so previous kind of spline driver body. Eagle transmission has allowed a little bit more space on the rear cassette area that's allowed the team, the engineered product development team, to utilize what looks very familiar from the XD driver body lock ring in order to get that 10-tooth cog, whereas previously we would have had an 11-tooth cog on a HG driver body.
Very clever.
Very pretty special.
So this is OEM only on, you don't buy it separately, it's on complete bikes.
Correct, yeah. So the S-Series, consider S-Series as kind of line extensions from current product lines for our OE landscape, OE manufacturers, OE customers to sometimes deviate the product. It might be a color specification, it could be a technology change, and sometimes it's just simply to get that same technology at the price point that's required to build their bike. So this is OE only, so you're going to see it on loads of brands already, in fact at Eurobike, and some of the parts will be available as aftermarket spare parts, but ultimately not an aftermarket complete group set available. One of the other cool things about the cassette itself is that we know that this cassette's going to be spec'd a lot on e-bikes, but in fact the bottom 5 gears, so from the 10 tooths up to the 5th gear on here, that part itself, that cluster is replaceable as an aftermarket spare part. I'll take that off, and the 5th one here. So, you know, that's where we're going to see the most wear usually on e-bikes. So you can pop that off, buy this component itself plus that one ring, swap it out, pop it back on there, and get even more lifespan out of the cassette itself.
Okay. So Schwalbe behind me have one of the most interesting new products on display here at Eurobike, and probably the smallest, but possibly the most instrumental in how we inflate tyres on bicycles. They have developed a new valve standard, a new valve core aimed at making inflating tyres easier and simpler, and also make tubeless tyre installation easier with increased airflow. So let's dive in and take a closer look. And this is a new part here, the valve core. So this stem is the same as a regular Presta. This bit is a magic, if I can focus on that. So a brand new valve core, and essentially aimed at increasing airflow through there and reducing clogging with tubeless. And they do a version for Trader and French valves as well. So click, 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 and it is very simple to use indeed. That is pretty straightforward, it has to be said.
That so you can measure it. My name is Berk. I'm the owner and basically the guy behind this brand. So we are from Slovenia, a smaller company. And yeah, we just developed a new saddle, which we presented here at Eurobike. It's a one-piece construction. So it's basically a new technology used for this one. So it has a lot of flex in the front area, and it also has good flex in the rear. Its main goal was to make a great performance saddle. It's not the lightest we offer, but it's for sure one of the most robust. Also, the edges are basically the most reinforced areas. So also in the case of a crash, they can hold it really well.
So the flex in the saddle, that's a new feature over the...
That's the feature with all our saddles, okay. But we constantly mention that because a lot of people are scared of the carbon saddles. We also offer them as a padded one. This one is only partially padded, so it has a 3mm of padding, like all standard saddles also. So
how much weight does that add to the saddle, that padding?
Around 15 grams.
15?
15, yeah.
Okay,
15.
So not much then. So these are made in your own factory in Slovenia?
Yeah, everything is made, yeah. We are a team of 8 employees and we produce around 4,000 saddles per year, just to give you an idea.
Okay, they're just saddles?
Yeah, mainly only saddles, yeah. We are also going into the shoes. We already produced them in the past. Also today Pogacar used them when he was third at La Vuelta. Also Matej Mohoric when he won 2 stages when he was at Bahrain.
Are these designed to be as light as possible? Is that the main objective?
Yeah, as light as possible, and also completely made in Slovenia.
And it's a lace version as well?
Yeah, this is a leather one.
So you make the leather upper in-house?
Everything is made, the upper part is made by another Slovenian company called Alpina. They are famous for the winter cross skiing shoes.
Okay.
So we keep everything in Slovenia. So the composite part, or all the padding and everything is done under our own roof, basically, in North.
How long has the company been going for?
It's already 10 years, more than 10 years now.
10 years. So this is a crazy looking bike at Eurobike with no seat tube.
My name is Simon. My company is Carbon Works. It's a small company for bottle cages and Garmin mounts.
Okay.
And I have the cooperation with Baldiso, Sebastian Baldauf, and they are doing very unique bicycles for their customers with individual painting and so on.
Okay. The bike here, very special.
This bike here is special, of course, too. Our aim was to create a bicycle with emotion for the rider. So you have a look at it and you want to go for a ride in the evening, enjoy the sun after a hard day of working. And we didn't stick to the UCI rules. Our aim was to do something great. And the frame is designed like a bionic shape, like a tree would grow the important areas where it needs to be stiffer, it's thicker, and like a bone, it's thinner in the middle area and getting thicker to the outside.
There's no seat tube.
We
That's
didn't
missing.
use the seat tube because we said the material is better placed in the down tube, so we get more strength through this big tube here to bring the force from the pedals through this tube directly to the street. And also here we have this angle. We don't want to bring the force over this tube up, down again. So we think it's not necessary to have the seat tube.
Okay.
We have also the integrated seat post here. You can adjust the height. Here's a clamping system. So you have a classic seat post inside this integrated part.
Yeah.
And so you have a bicycle with edges which are going through the complete bike without breaking them with the seat tube. Yeah.
So in terms of stiffness and flex, are there any downsides to not having the seat tube? You've managed to address that by having material in the down tube.
Yes, we aim to have the same stiffness, especially here for the rider, but also a little bit of extra flex on the seat post. Yes.
And you can't have a second bottle cage because there's only one bottle cage.
Can't have a second bottle cage yet, but we have another system for bottle cages behind the saddle, and we are working on a double bottle cage, so you have a second bottle over it. It's still secret and we are working on it, but there will come a solution for the second bottle.
I have to ask, how does it ride?
It's almost like a normal race bike. The geometry is almost similar to the race bikes, so you won't feel complete. It's not a complete feeling. Yeah.
Okay. Is it in production now? Can you buy it?
Yes, it's already in production.
Okay.
We will need 1 month for finishing the testing, and then it will be ready for sale in the end of the summer.
Okay. What sort of price are you talking about for the frame or a bike?
Price for the frame is about 5,000.
Okay.
The complete bike starts at 9,000, but of course depending on the group set and so on. With SRAM Red, it's higher. Yes.
And how much does the bike weigh? What sort of
The
weight
weight actually with this components is 6.8 kilograms.
With SRAM Red and
yes, with
equal
SRAM Red
wheels.
bike ahead, yeah. But we plan to have it a little bit lighter. There will be a lighter version of the frame maybe soon.
Okay.
And also with handlebar combo a little bit as possible.
Cool.
Yeah.
It looks really cool, so thank you for sharing the details.
Thank you very much.
Me.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Steve from Muc-Off. Today we are looking at our new big bore tubeless valves. We have 3 different valves on offer. So our big bore light, our big bore hybrid, and our big bore ludicrous, which are coming out later this year. So the key thing here about our new big bore valves is the ball valve technology, which means they're coreless. So you can see straight down the barrel, to put it with some light behind it. You can see straight down the barrel.
Yep.
Totally coreless valve system, which is controlled, airflow is controlled and signal flow is controlled with this lever. Makes it totally unique. So in the case of the ludicrous version, it's 264% more airflow than a traditional Presta valve. No clogging. It makes popping a bead onto a tyre super easy. And they're completely serviceable because you can put a dipstick in and test sealant levels. You can take the whole thing apart, clean it, put it back on.
Why has nobody done it before though? It seems so simple.
Well, yeah, we've been working on it for about 3 years. And I guess maybe it's to do with the technology within the ball valve. It has to be obviously completely, you've got zero tolerance, so you have to have zero air leakage.
So we got small.
Yeah, the smallest one, big bore light, is Presta. We have hybrid, which is Presta Schrader. And then if you have Schrader rims, ludicrous is Schrader. That's the one for maximum airflow.
So the airflow is the main difference between the different ones. So
That's
that
it, yeah.
maximum airflow.
230, 254 and 264
In the light
respectively.
is more airflow than a normal.
230% more than traditional Presta valves,
Okay.
yeah. So we see the future of particularly mountain bike rims as being Schrader drilled, because the reason they're Presta is because historically rims weren't very strong.
Okay.
So big holes, weak points in rims. As rims get stronger, we're now sacrificing airflow essentially these days for no reason.
Okay, yeah. Any plans for a road CX gravel version?
Potentially in the future, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I mean, like I say, it's in 4 lengths, so we do a 30, a 35, a 45, and a 60mm length valve.
Yeah.
So certainly for the majority of roadies out there, it'll be absolutely fine to use these.
Yeah.
But if you have super deep wheels at this stage, we don't have anything for you, but then in the future maybe. Yes, we've also got our new road and gravel sealant. Now the key things here is that this will seal up to 7mm holes, up to 110 PSI.
What's different about it? Why does it seal where other stuff wouldn't seal?
The key thing is the ingredients. So two key ingredients: bio bamboo fiber particles and natural mineral flakes.
Okay.
The bamboo fiber particles are readily biodegradable, but they essentially they make the overall fluid a lot thinner than the MTB sealant, so it's kind of optimized for a road bike tire. But it will seal holes 7mm up to 110 PSI.
The same colour as the regular sealant?
Same colour.
Okay.
Yeah, same colour. Just a very, very slightly thinner mixture. We recommend it kind of gets changed every sort of 3 to 6 months. We say 6 months on MTB sealant, which is a little bit thicker. But kind of the trade-off for having to upgrade, having to refresh sealant more often, is you get much better performance from it.
Okay. And that's available now?
Available now. And we've also got a couple of new sizes, so you'd be used to maybe the 140s and the litres and the 5 litres. We've introduced an 80mm, which obviously smaller road bike size, and a new 500mm as well, which is kind of that in between. So they're brand new to market. They're also available in the MTB sealant. They've been launched on that as well. Yeah, designed specifically for road and gravel use.
Yeah. So what have we got here then?
So this is the brand new Big Trail. So this is our kind of long-standing kind of hardcore hardtail type thing, but it's been updated. Now we've got more reach, we've got slacker head angle and steeper seat angle. So kind of more of the same good stuff. Just goes up, down and along better than before. Pretty kind of good value across these. I think this is the top model. That's £2,000. It's the 600 Pike XT 4-pot brakes. Nice new sleek cable routing, so it's all very clean.
Internal.
Yeah, and less rattling, so it's like metal sleeved and it just pops out there. Yeah, because we've got super low standover and we've kind of moved to a new sizing system, so it's really long travel, drop posts across the range. XL is 230mm travel, from mid to long is 200mm travel, and then below that, 7. Yeah. But they've just got mega low standover. We also dropped the BB a little bit and fitted short cranks to it. So, so all the sizes apart from XL are 165. Okay. XL is 170. Okay. So yeah, kind of very, very modern. And it's loads of fun.
Delightful colour up there.
Yes, that is
the UK edition.
Yes. So when you can no longer read the Merida sign, that's when you wash it.
Is it a popular model?
Yeah, like massive, especially in the UK. In Europe, not so much, but UK and Australia, like real big.
We like a hardtail, don't we?
Yeah. I think it's the original version of this was actually designed by a load of our UK kind of shops in conjunction with the distributor, or like Merida UK, kind of literally kind of back of a fag packet, kind of sketched out. And went like, we need a bike like this, because obviously like cross-country hardtail's not really a UK thing, but something like this definitely sells. So 140mm travel fork. And we've done the usual thing of like, apart from on the kind of more budget-orientated models like this one, they've got proper brakes, 200mm rotors, and good tyre spec. I wasn't gonna get one, but then I rode the press one, so I was like, I could get into this actually.
There is space in my garage after all.
Yeah, I can just squeeze a few more bikes in that shed.
But space.
Yeah. But no, it's a good fun bike.
You often see bike brands you never heard of at shows like Eurobike, and here's one, Upland, with their Ballard. That looks like a Trek ISO speed copy, doesn't it? With that sort of cutaway triangular section. Interesting look. Full internal routing, of course. Pretty interesting. And here's another aero bike from this company. Very, very aero. With the seat tube hugging the rear wheel. The rear stage flared out. The deep aero seat posts. Very deep head tube, of course. White bar tape, yes, hello, look at that. approve. We're 105 mechanical. That is a nice looking bike if you like white. Right, here's another company I've never heard of, TSB, but look at this beauty. Look at that. Titanium, smooth as you like. That is very lovely indeed. Look at that seat tube cluster. Very nice. So this is a gravel bike with a UDH dropout, drop chain stays. Very nice. Full internal routing as well. Very clean. Discovery 1, so a gravel bike, wide tyres, 1x. They also have this as well. Look at that rack. Titanium rack on the seat post. Very cool. And look at that. Triple triangle. Very cool. So the company has loads of interesting frames. This is a Pioneer, a 3D printed titanium frame. Look how smooth the joins are. Very nice. And look at that. Like it's one piece. Smooth, organic lines and shapes. Drop rear stays. Oh, kinked rear stays there. And that's nice as well. Look at that. They also have a handlebar. Cranks as well. That's the seat tube cluster. Look at that. That's very nice. Cool engineering. And of course, dropouts. A range seat posts. More handlebars. Look at this though. Little titanium balance bike. That's cool. That's super cute. I'm liking that a lot. Even the handlebar and the stem, titanium. Look at that. Right, I'm at the Microshift stand and we have new Sword Black, which is a new 9-speed group set following the Sword 10-speed I reviewed a short while ago. And Black, as the name suggests, looks pretty good actually. 1-speed, 2x options, mechanical shifting, no clutch in the rear mech to keep the price down. Black cassette as well. And the levers are almost the same as Sword. The same shifting layout, 2 buttons there, nice ergonomic hoods, curvy brake levers, and black, very, very black. Looks cool, looks really nice. So what do you think 9-speed then? So 9-speed group sets, while the big companies are launching 12, 13 speed group sets and 16 speed, the classified and TRP, Microshift are going to 9-speed. But there are apparently rumours to do something above Sword 10-speed, so don't rule out an 11-speed Microshift group set just yet. Hopefully you enjoyed this roundup of some of the coolest bikes here at Eurobike. If you want to see some more cool bikes, watch the video right here, and of course don't forget to subscribe by hitting that button down below. But that's all for now. I'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much for watching.